All right, it's time for week 3 of the Fantasy Football Recap Show. A lot to talk about this week as it was a big week in the NFL. A lot of surprising games, a lot of injuries, a lot of big pickups and big money spent, and that's where we're going to start. As you can see on the screen here, a list of everyone's player budgets. Some big cash was splashed this week on a couple different players. Just to show, the only people with $100 left in their budget is Matt and Cheese. Interesting for Cheese to still have money, his full money after losing Christian McCaffrey. I would have thought he would have made some moves, but I guess he got outbid on a few players, so interesting. And then Matt, did you even make any bids this week?
No, I never do.
No?
I
Okay.
don't. I don't need them. I
Okay.
wouldn't start any of them.
All right, interesting. And then we have some people that have used a lot of cash. Zach currently has the lowest remaining budget at $39 as we go into week 3. Zach, you got the key prize, $55 on Mike Davis. Is Zach here? And Zach's not here. I think he's taking a shit. All right, great. But then after Zach, we also had Bill spending some cash. He's down to 55. I believe he was the one. Oh no, Zombie got Dion Lewis. You're at $59, Zombie. Happy about that acquisition of Dion Lewis?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. It was a lot of money, especially with Devontae Freeman signing. But we'll see how that works for
There's
you.
like nothing left on the waivers.
Yeah, okay. Well, there could be more injuries still, and some more people could pop up. So, interesting. All right, so we will move on to the recap of last week as we go into it here. All right, so we're going to go over the first matchup first, which was me versus Cheese. I was very fortunate and happy to get this win this week. Before, I know last week on the recap show, everybody picked Cheese to win. I was worried about Cheese's matchups, and they just didn't quite prevail for him. Lamar Jackson only got 17 points. I cannot believe that. I thought he was going to put up 30. Baltimore got out to that early lead and just ran the ball constantly the whole rest of the game. Christian McCaffrey did very well for him before he got hurt, but he got hurt in the fourth quarter, which stopped him from getting some garbage time points, so that was key for me. And then it was kind of a disappointing day for his wide receivers and his tight end, and his flex got him 0. Ouch. Good call there, Ernie, on telling him to start Kittle, as then Kittle was out, so then he had to scramble for a tight end off the waivers. Didn't really matter, though, because Austin Hooper only got 4.2. The big mishap was Fournette on the bench, got him 27 points, where Ronald Jones only got him 10. So very fortunate. Went up against a team that didn't put up a lot of points. I put up about one more point than last week. Had big games from Matt Ryan, and Alvin Kamara went off with all the checkdowns. Started the wrong tight end as Gronk got me 0. But overall, pretty pleased with my wide receiver production, and Kamara popped off. Happy to get the win. Cheese is not here, but he did make comments. Let me see. He didn't say anything about this matchup, so apparently he just wants to move on. Any other? Let's see. So we'll move on. Let's see. On to the next matchup. We have Pussy versus Hunter. This one was by far the shocker, I think, of the week. Pussy's team put up 143 points after everybody was just shitting on it last week. He got off to a great start with his 2 Thursday night running backs, got him 26 and 12. So they did go for more than 30 points. So good call there, Ernie. Other than that, Noah Fant had a good game. I mean, really, his whole lineup did pretty solid. And then on Hunter's end, Saquon Barkley has to be the one thing that stands out. Tore his ACL in the game, only got 2.8 points. Really hurt Hunter. Other than that,
just a bad week overall.
Yeah, just a bad week for you, Hunter. Any other comments you got? I know you've made
I mean,
some
if
moves.
there is a week to get a bad week out of all my players, it was that week because I wasn't gonna win anyways. So hopefully that's like the one time.
Yep.
That happens, but.
All right. Somebody's mic is like popping. I don't know who it is. If someone could watch the Xbox party and tell me who that is, it's like a popping sound. Anyways,
I think it's Matrista.
Majestic, can you like mute if you're not talking? Thank you. Yeah, so just a rough week. Pussy's not here, but if he gets here, we'll come back to him.
It's
Rough start for Hunter. 0-2. His team is very good. I think his team still can be good. He's made some moves. Obviously, the hard thing is going to be replacing his #1 pick in Saquon. The running backs is going to take a big hit, as you'll see when we get to the preview show. But I still think if he pays attention, makes some moves, keeps looking for opportunities, I still think he can have a competitive team and get in the playoffs possibly. 0-2, you're not over with yet. Take it from someone that started 0-2 the last 2 years. 0-4, you're definitely way behind. So you got to just work on getting a win this week, Hunter. On to the next one. It was Pook versus Zach. This was a pretty good scoring matchup. Pook 152-58. Second most points scored in the week against Zach, who still put up 125, but unfortunately lost. Pook really just had a solid week all around. Josh Allen, 34 huge points once again. The guy is turning into a beast. Josh Jacobs had a decent game. Eckler, 18 points. He had a good bounce back. Tyler Boyd really started it off well for him with 20 on Thursday night. That great toe tap touchdown in the back of the end zone really saved us there. Diggs, 29 points. Once again, that connection Allen to Diggs has proven to be deadly. Overall, good week for Pook. Zach also, like I said, had a solid week. His second running back turning into a problem with Cohen, but he did address that in the waiver wire by picking up Mike Davis, so he's going to be sliding him in there and benching Cohen. Other than that, his wide receivers all did pretty well for him. Terry McLaurin had a bounce-back huge game. Mark Andrews was really only the other disappointment for Zach. But overall, solid performance. Zach still put up a lot of points despite not having Michael Thomas, his best wide receiver. So, encouraging sign for Zach. Pook's team looking very scary at the moment. I'd say with Hunter's injuries, Pook's team is definitely looking like the best right now. Pook's looking like he's in prime position to stroll to the playoffs once again. Pook, any comments on your big victory this week?
No.
No? Just expected? At this point, 150 points is expected for the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Zach, are you here?
I'm here.
Did you wipe and wash your hands?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Any comments on your loss to Pook?
You gotta score a lot to beat Pook Lee.
Yeah.
I scored a lot, just not enough.
Okay. All right. Nice.
Yeah.
Alrighty, moving on to the next matchup. We had Ernie versus Bill. Bill took a loss to Ernie. After all the shit Bill's been talking about Ernie since the start draft time, this one has to hurt Bill a little that he loses to Ernie. 144-120. Ernie's team looking good. 2-0 start for Ernie. Looking really good. Surprising some people in the process. Dak Prescott, huge game. 3 rushing touchdowns for Dak. 39 big points. 22 points for Elliott as well. That whole Cowboys offense did really good. It was a shootout. David Johnson kind of had a bad week. 7 points. Kind of looked a little worse. And Gurley. So Gurley and Johnson both had good weeks and then kind of took setbacks in week 2. Other than that, solid overall performance for Ernie, led by his Cowboys players. Bill on the other side, not a bad week, 120. Russell Wilson really helped him out on the evening game. Miles Sanders looked good. Melvin Gordon actually had a good game. He's the only healthy, decent Bronco left on that team. Devontae Adams and Julio Jones both let him down after having huge weeks in week 1. That was really the difference in this matchup, was his 2 top wide receivers just did not perform. Other than that, Ernie, any comments on your big win over Bill?
Not really. It was expected, like I said. Bye week.
Wow.
But,
bye week.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
GG, Bill, you suck.
Okay. All right.
Shots.
Moving on to the next one. This was the closest matchup of the week. Pete versus Zombie. Pete falls to 0-2 for I think the first time ever. Very shocking to see. Still put up a decent score, 125. Zombie edged him out with 127. Got a late catch in the game. Who was that caught that? Was it Hill in that game that caught it and gave him the win, I think? Or was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hill got.
So.
No, I thought it was Edwards-Helaire.
Oh, Edwards-Helaire. Well, it was one of them, but they got a late catch in the game to secure the win for Zombie. It was like literally neck and neck the whole way in that game. really, when you look at Pete's team, had a really solid week. Kyler Murray, huge points, looking really good as the top quarterback there. Ridley with another huge game. He is stealing all the touchdowns away from Julio Jones. It's amazing. Even Julio Jones had an opportunity to catch a touchdown pass from the third wide receiver, Russell Gage, and just dropped it. Just pure out drop, huge drop. Zach Ertz did okay. Marvin Jones, just an average game. But the real killer for Pete was he started Nathim Hines, who went off the week before, only got 1.4 points as the Colts were winning most of the game. And he left Connor, who had 20 big points on the bench. That was the difference right there. Tough pill to swallow if you're Pete with that mistake, but it's fantasy. It happens. We start people and mess up sometimes. Pete, any comments on the loss?
GG's the Zombie. You didn't tell the story very well, though. Zombie was massively down going into that last game.
Okay.
He was down pretty huge. And then in the second half, the Chiefs just came to life. His trio got just over 60 points, so he won.
So he
by
won.
just a little bit.
Okay.
And as far as starting Hines had 27 last week.
Yep.
They were playing against Minnesota, who I thought was not going to suck ass, but apparently they decided to suck ass. So I thought they'd have to throw a little bit, and they didn't. And, Connor was hurt the week before, so
Yeah.
there are a lot of experts like Matthew Berry, some other ones that were predicting the Hines have more points than Connor, so it wasn't a horrible call, just very unlucky. I mean, how many points? You scored, 123 and you won, Golfer?
Yeah.
I scored 125 and I lost.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of luck involved in this.
Of course.
But you
Fantasy.
are right. It is the first time I've ever been 0-2 in this league, so it does
Fantasy
GG's
football is 50% luck and 50% skill. It's we got to start the right people. That's kind of how it goes. And then you got to get lucky sometimes and face people that only score 80 points on your offense.
No wonder Pussy won the league that one time. Same luck.
Wow. Okay, Zombie, any comments on your victory?
Good win by me, but I would have traded it in for a Herbert win over the Chiefs.
Oh my God.
But instead they lost because some fucking kicker is taking HGH. Fucking bullshit.
Okay, yeah, Bill's kicker is definitely worth a 10th round selection after that game this week. He was amazing, hitting all those field goals at the end when they kept calling timeouts and had penalties. God, he just was clutch. And the Chiefs did beat the Chargers. No surprise there, but we'll see. Zombie, your Chargers medical team has done a good job of making sure Herbert's going to be the starter, so you'll get what you want from that standpoint.
Whoa. You love to hear it. You
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the last game of the week. We had Madrista versus Slaps. Slaps once again put up a decent score, 124. Madrista only scored the most points of the week, 181. Huge performance from Madrista. I don't think anybody saw that coming. Madrista had a decent week in the first week, but lost. And then he just came out and scored 181 this week. Huge days from Cam Newton, leading his team to that huge number. I'm sure Madrista will talk all about him. Aaron Jones, though, 45 huge points for Aaron Jones. Just unbelievable. And then Tyler Higbee, who barely did anything week one, just come out of nowhere and just scored 28 huge points as well. Odell Beckham had a good bounce back game. Tyler Lockett did what he normally does. Derrick Henry, a little slow start to the season. Just hasn't gotten the end zone yet, but you figure that will probably change. On Slaps' side, Tom Brady, only 8 points. Tom Brady in that offense is just kind of looking a little shaky. Doesn't look like they're totally in rhythm like we talked about at the beginning of the season. He's probably learning the offense, learning the players that he's got. Not looking good for fantasy so far, though. Dalvin Cook, 17 points. Montgomery, who a lot of people were giving him shit for trading for, had a nice game, 21 points. Slaps' wide receivers did well as well. Mike Evans got 23, DJ Moore 20. The big one, Will Fuller, got hurt in that game and got 0 points. That was kind of a hurting point, but it didn't really matter at the end of the day because Madrista just outscored, and it didn't matter how many points Slaps scored or who he started. He was going to lose. Slaps, any comments on the hard one? Tough, unlucky break for you there, facing 181 points. Is Slaps here?
Yikes.
Yep, sorry, I'm here. I mean, yeah, it's a sore one. I've obviously had a decent week, but I can't do anything against the 181 points. Do you know what I mean? So,
Yep.
GG's, Matt.
You still would have lost some slaps.
Okay, and moving on over to Madrista. Team looking very good after that slow week 1. Huge 180 points, most scored so far. Any comments?
Hello?
Yep.
Hello? All right, so all I have to say is this performance, it very much surprised me, other than Cam Newton.
Yep.
He just absolutely put the team on his back and carried him to a victory. You love to see it. It wasn't that hard.
Hold on,
'cause
wait. Carried you to a fantasy victory. He didn't carry his actual
He
team
carried
to a victory.
me to a victory. He
okay.
put the team on his back
Yep.
and did his job. And anyone who ever watches this show in the future, if Cam Newton had Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, and Russell Gage,
Yeah. And
you
no
would think that
defense.
he would do good with them. You think he would do good with them. I think everyone would agree that
and
he
no
would
defense.
ball out. Cam Newton is a baller, and my team's looking good. And
All
I
right,
think
next.
especially since next week, or this week, is going to be a big week for my team.
Okay.
Big week.
All right. Sounds good. You are in a big matchup coming up, which we'll get into
Yeah.
in a
And
second.
also, I'm getting food, so I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. All right. So just real quickly to go over the picks for last week. It was a much tougher week for everyone on the picks standpoint. Nobody got 5 right. Only one person got 4 right, and that was Zombie. Zombie got 4 correct. Everybody picked Cheese, and Cheese lost. Pretty much everyone picked Hunter except Pussy, and Pussy won. So those were big ones there that everyone lost on. Other than that, we had Pussy and Bill and Ernie all getting 3 right, as well as Cheese getting 3 right, and then everyone else got 2 right except for Zach, who only got 1 selection right. And it was not the tie. Unlucky for Zach. So that will be the hands that you'll be working with for this upcoming week's blackjack when we get to that. And we'll get to that here in a little bit. Moving on, though, to this upcoming week as we hit to week 3. Big week for some teams that are 0-2. Also big week for the 1-1 guys. You'd much rather be 2-1 instead of 1-2 as we head into the season. We are going to start with the only matchup of the week of undefeated teams. Huge showdown this week between myself and Pook. Pook right now projected for a 5-point win. I asked Pook earlier, a couple days ago, what happened, because at the beginning of the week he was projected for 150 points, and it looked like he was going to rape me. Now it's a lot closer, so I'm glad to see that. Looking at the matchups, Pook has Josh Allen against the Rams. So Josh Allen's first decent test, first 2 games he played was against some suspect teams. The Rams seem to be pretty decent this year, offensively and defensively, so we'll see how that game goes. I'm hoping that Josh Allen can put on a Lamar performance of last week and score about 17 points. I'd be happy with that. I need to get lucky from that standpoint. Josh Jacobs against New England, not bad. James Robinson against Miami tomorrow night, so that's a huge game on Thursday night for me and Pook's matchup. James Robinson could go off like he did last week. Allen Robinson against Atlanta, that's a very good matchup. Keenan Allen against Carolina is a good matchup. Dallas Goedert against Cincinnati is very good. Austin Eckler against Carolina, he could go off. And the Colts against the Jets. Jets, do me a favor, just run the ball 3 times and punt. The whole game. Just punt. 3 and out punt, 3 and out punt. Just don't even try to pass and throw interceptions or fumbles or anything. Just take knees and punt, please. And then looking over on my side, I have Matt Ryan against the Bears. That's kind of a tougher defense for Matt Ryan. I don't think it will be as much of a shootout as the first couple games, but he has been throwing the ball well. Alvin Kamara against Green Bay. I hope it's just check down Charlie Drew Brees the whole game like it was last week. I'm starting for the first time this year Antonio Gibson against Cleveland. I somewhat liked the matchup, and I liked what I saw last week out of Gibson. He was more involved in the offense. So hopefully that will be better than last week when I started Zach Moss and he only got 3. Chris Godwin back in the lineup. He was out last week. Fortunate to get a win without him. He's now back in against Denver and that depleted team. Amari Cooper against Seattle could be decent. And then I have tomorrow night Mike Gesicki, who went off last week on my bench against Jacksonville. He'll probably end up getting like 5 points this week because he went off last week, but I like the matchup at least. And then Hollywood Brown in the flex on Monday night against Kansas City. Hopefully you can have a big play or something in that game and get a long touchdown. And then Patriots against the Raiders. I'm a little concerned about that, but after last week, I started a bad defense, so we'll fuck it. We'll go with the Patriots. So it's going to be a very close matchup. I got to pick myself to win just because it's myself, but I'm going to have to put up more points than I put up last week. I acknowledge that. I got to start the right guys. I got to get a little lucky with Josh Allen, and maybe I can win. But it's going to be very tough to knock off Pook. As I said, I think his team's the best. So, yeah, that's my projection for the game. Pook, what you got?
I'll win.
You will win. How many points will you win by, Pook?
I don't know, 5.
5.
10.
Okay, so you think it's going to be close. All right. All right. Pete, who you think's winning this matchup?
You guys both have some good matchups, so it should be a pretty good game. I think it'll be close. I think the key is going to be Josh Jacobs. If he's hurt or doesn't play good against the Patriots, you're going to upset him. But otherwise, I think he'll win. I'm going to lean
he's
towards
hurt-
Pook and pick Pook.
Okay.
I'll put Boyd in.
I'm back.
Yeah. Okay. So picking Pook. Okay. Let's see. Hunter, who are you picking?
I think this is going to be a really good game. I like matchups for both teams. I think it's going to be like a 3-point difference. I
Okay.
really can't choose here, but I'm going to go with
Well, you could always
Pook
take the
by 3
tie.
points.
Okay. Pook.
I'm not taking the tie. I'm not
Okay.
that dumb.
All right. Just checking. Just giving you the option.
I
All right. Madrista, who are you taking?
You and
Oh.
Pook.
Okay.
Pook by a
Oh.
landslide.
Oh, Pook by a landslide. All right. I like that.
I thought you were
Ernie
picking
predicted
both
that
teams.
last week for Cheese, and it was ended up being a landslide for me. So I like that.
Or who was,
What?
actually, I went Gunner by a landslide. Never mind.
Ooh.
Oh.
All right. I don't like that. I don't like that as much.
Bam on a bio is 5.
Zach, who are you taking in this?
Pook, what's your bet?
Pook Lee is probably gonna win every single game
Ooh.
of the season.
Okay. You actually
here on
believe
out,
that, or are you just
so-
trying to jinx this team?
I believe it.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right, so Pook. Ernie.
I want Pook to win, so I'm gonna say Golfer by a landslide.
You want Pook to win. Wow, okay. Wow, fuck you, Ernie. All right, Zombie.
This is gonna be a close game. It's not gonna be a landslide.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go with the guy with the belt and the domestic violence, Pook.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah, my team name.
All right.
I think Pook's gonna.
It's Pook. Did I miss anyone? I missed Cheese.
Bill. And
Yeah, you
Bill.
missed me.
Oh yeah, I missed Slaps. I knew I was missing someone.
You always
Slaps.
forget slaps.
I know.
I'm
gotta
gonna go against the run of play, and I'm gonna pick Golfer.
Oh, okay.
Is that really against the run of play? Yeah, a lot of people have been picking Golfer.
Wait,
I
are they?
mean, only no.
We've
only-
been picking golf.
Madrista and Ernie picked me by a landslide just to try to jinx me. So Slaps is the only one that actually thinks I'm gonna win. So,
Does he?
alright. Yes. Well, I don't know. Maybe he. Did you say a landslide, Slaps?
No, just
Oh,
win.
okay. All right.
Oh, he said landslide.
Cheese did send me his picks. He says in this matchup he's picking Pook. I'm surprised there. Hopefully I can give
Spiteful.
Pook a run for his money and get some big points and get a little lucky. We'll see what happens.
Thursday night's gonna be a big
Yeah,
game.
it is a big game. We both have a player, both important players, so we'll see. All right, moving on to the
Yikes,
next
Thursday
one.
night.
We have Hunter and his 0-2 team against Zach's team. Hunter feeling the effects of no Saquad as his point total is now 114 projected from ESPN. He's facing Zach, who is 1-1, looking for a bounce back win and is projected for 126 points. So he is the favorite. Zach has Drew Brees, who's looked a little shaky going up against Green Bay. Chris Carson against Dallas should be decent. The newly $55 prize. The person, as Zach said, had the
Oh.
biggest balls in the league. Mike Davis. I don't know if it's balls or if it's just stupidity. We'll find out. Against the Chargers. That could be a tough matchup. We'll see what happens. Michael Thomas. He has him in the starting lineup. Wait, I thought it was supposed to be like 4 to 6 weeks with a high ankle sprain. This is only
Look
week
at look
2.
at that! Look at that average.
only-
He's averaging
only week-
4.7 points per
Only
game.
week 2, and he's got
They
Michael
actually
Thompson.
have a good doctor that injects him
Oh,
in the
they.
right place, so he won't be feeling anything.
Well done.
And he will
He
be
is
breathing.
projected for 19 points right now, so we'll see what happens. He didn't practice today, but we'll keep an eye on it. He's got DeAndre Hopkins against Detroit. That's a great matchup. God, Hopkins should feast. Mark Andrews on Monday night against Kansas City. Okay. Terry McLaurin against Cleveland. Oh, that should be a decent matchup. Two bad teams in Washington and Cleveland. The Saints against Green Bay. Okay, so a tough little challenge there for the Saints defense. We'll see. They didn't have a great week against the Raiders last week. And then on Hunter's side, he has Deshaun Watson against Pittsburgh. That's kind of tough. Kareem Hunt against Washington. Like that matchup for Kareem Hunt. Then on the other side, we got a battle.
Yeah.
We got a battle of the big spenders. Jeff Wilson, a $30 send misclick. Are we calling it a misclick, Hunter? Is that what we're going
I think
with?
we're gonna call it a misclick.
Okay, we're gonna call it a $30 misclick for Jeff Wilson, running back against for the Giants. He's facing a decent Giants defense. I mean, they're just kind of average in the pack, so maybe he can get a touchdown.
Hey,
Michael,
you gotta take a look at his average points though.
yeah.
That's where
Ooh, yeah, that screams $30 right there. Point
screams
two.
intimidation.
Screams. Yikes. Juju Smith going up against Houston, newly acquired to the Pittsburgh fanboy Hunter in a trade today with Pete. Travis Kelce against Baltimore on Monday night. Robert Woods against Buffalo. That's a little tough. Browns defense against my boy Haskins. So you both have a Monday night player. That's good. I think it will be a little closer than ESPN is projecting, but I still think Zach's going to win. Like I said before, I think Hunter's team is still decent. He's going to have to somehow overcome that quad injury, which is going to be tough. I just think Zach's team is a little bit too strong for this week. I don't know how well Mike Davis will do in this first game. I think this is kind of a fool game as the Chargers are not bad, but we'll see. We'll see if it was worth $55 in week 1. Let's see here. Pook, who you taking? Hello? Did the party disappear?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Pook?
Yikes.
All right, we'll move on. Pete?
Hunter, first of all, congrats on actually paying attention this year.
Yeah.
Golf and I were wrong. You're doing great.
Yeah, so far.
Unlucky though on the matchups. Your matchups are not great this week.
Yeah.
It's rough to lose your best player and then have bad matchups next week. If you're able to get a win, it'd be a really great win for you. You need one, but Zach has better matchups, and right now I would have to pick Zach.
Okay. Let's see. Moving on, Hunter. We'll go with you. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm not gonna be a bitch and not pick myself this week. 'Cause
like
I'm
it.
just gonna hope something comes out of this.
I like it.
But the thing is, I don't feel like this exact team is gonna be what I'm going with into Sunday.
So
The
possibly
difference
some deals
is-
are in the works.
The difference
good.
is, even if I make some deals, I've still got Deshaun Watson playing against Pittsburgh.
Tough.
That's not gonna change, and even though I want him to do well, I know it's not gonna happen.
Mhm.
But I'll just have to see. I'm gonna pick myself anyways,
Alright.
just to hope.
Nice. Pook, are you here?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right. Who are you taking between Hunter and Zach?
Zach.
Okay.
Zach?
Yeah.
Are you sure? You were deep in thought there. Okay. Madrista.
Well, also I want Hunter to tread cautiously with those words from the card player. Just remember he tried to vote you off. Just remember that. And
That was last year.
I
yeah.
believe, nope, just remember, Hunter, just remember. And
6 to 5. 5 of the people did too.
That is true. I was one of them.
I was not one of them.
I was not either.
I was not.
Okay. We don't need to retally the vote.
Ernie was not either.
Yeah.
Ernie wasn't
And
even
one
in
of-
the league.
Yeah,
Hunter,
that is true.
remember who your true friends
What?
are here.
Yes, just remember.
I mean, Hunter made a deal with Pete today. I think it was a pretty fair deal. I mean, I'm sure, though, there'll be more deals in the future, but we'll see.
I believe that the Lord is going to be with Hunter,
Wow, so you're picking Hunter.
and they will give him some good juju, and he'll get the job done.
Oh, wow. Okay.
See what I did there?
I see what you did there. You turned Zach's Lord against him and picked Hunter. Wow. All right.
Nah, but I said the Juju.
I
Yes,
see what you did there. Pretty clever. Zach, is the Lord going to be with you, or is he going to shun on you and pick Hunter?
Even if the Lord wasn't with me this week, I'd still win.
Okay. Wow.
But the Lord is always with me because I'm very religious.
And also with you.
You would. Why would you even question that the Lord isn't with you? That's a bit disrespectful.
I wasn't
Because
questioning.
he wasn't
Hunter,
with
I was
him last
just-
week.
Oh.
Hunter, the Lord is with me. I mean, Pukli, the Lord is with me even in a loss. Okay.
Just such
There's a thing called
such a religious guy,
testing
Zach.
of faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is testing
You
it.
guys don't go. You guys don't go to church. You don't know.
Okay. Moving on to a person that doesn't go to church, Ernie.
Whoa.
Who are you taking?
Whoa.
Tough one for you, Ernie.
Not really.
No?
Zach's gonna win.
No? Okay.
It's just GG's Hunter giving up your best wide receiver for someone that's probably gonna get hurt in 2 weeks. and
Wow.
then
Oh.
back being under
Karma.
the rock.
You're just mad because you didn't get him.
Ooh, yes. Good one, Hunter.
I could still get him.
Ernie, you do know
Okay.
that Thielen was injured just as much as Juju, right?
True.
And Juju is on a better team.
At the end of the day, I am still 2-0.
Okay. All right. Moving on.
Okay.
Zombie.
All right,
you taking?
on, yeah.
I'm taking Hunter because the Lord is not with Zach. Not this week. Not ever. Not even at his fucking churches. His churches are just money scams.
You
So
stupid
Zach's losing
thinking
this.
fuck.
Whoa.
Wait, did you say his churches are just money scams?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
Zach
churches are just
Zach
money
hasn't been
scams.
involved really in any scams that I know of. He wasn't involved in the Amazon scam. Okay.
Whoa.
Even if it
And Mike
was
Thomas,
a scam, it'd be
the
a
Lord
great
will
scam
not-
because it's for the
the
Lord.
Lord
All
is not
power
gonna
goes
let
to the
Mike
Lord.
Thomas
Next
play.
matchup.
Okay.
Lord is not gonna let Mike Thomas play this week.
Okay.
FBI, they're right here.
All right, Slaps. Who you taking?
I believe that the Lord is with Zach, and he's gonna win by a landslide.
Okay. So some nice comments from Slaps about Zach. God, how far we've come in 2 weeks. If we remember 2 weeks ago, it was Zach's a little ginger cunt. Anyways, and Cheese took Zach as well. He thinks Zach's going to win by a decent amount of points. All right, moving on to the next one. We have probably the dumbest. We went from the best name in the fantasy teams to probably now the worst name in the fantasy teams. Bill's tight ass.
Oh my god.
I don't think Bill has a tight ass, number one. Number two, I don't know why he'd be flaunting to a bunch of guys in a fantasy league that he has a tight ass.
This is a
Is that
father
supposed to
of
be-
three,
is-
by the
is
way.
that
Remind
supposed to
everyone
be
it's a
like-
father of three. This is a
Is
father
that
of
supposed to
three.
be like Titans?
No, I think it's because he has
Don't-
3 tight ends on his team.
Don't
But
forget
I-
he
No,
beats his kids.
But I don't know why his name is tight ass.
Bill is a good father.
That is-
I can repeat, he's a good father.
Yeah, I'm sure
when
he's,
he's
I'm
not
sure he's a
an
good father,
alcoholic.
but I don't know why his name is tight ass. I don't know. We'll have to get some comments from Bill on a different day about his team name. But anyways, he is projected to beat Pussy 121 to 116. Both these teams are 1-1, so this is a pivotal match. The winner goes 2-1, loser goes 1-2. Bill has Russell Wilson against the Cowboys. That's a great matchup. Russell Wilson has started out very hot this season. Miles Sanders against Cincinnati is also a decent matchup. Melvin Gordon is the only healthy Bronco left on that team against Tampa Bay. Devontae Adams, who is listed as questionable against New Orleans. It wouldn't be an NFL season without Devontae Adams being questionable, but he probably will play against New Orleans. T.Y. Hilton against the Jets. That's a great matchup, but T.Y. has struggled from the start with Phillip Rivers. Hayden Hurst against Chicago. And then he's got his second tight end, so he's going 2 tight ends with Logan Thomas. I wish Bill was here because I'm going to ask him if he's really starting 2 tight ends. And if he is starting 2 tight ends, Logan Thomas. Zach, the Redskins fan, doesn't even know who Logan Thomas is. But he is facing Cleveland, so that is a decent matchup. So I'm sure in some crazy, mind-blowing way, Logan Thomas will have 20 points and we'll all look like idiots. But 2 tight ends doesn't ever really work. He does have Kittle on the bench, so if Kittle does play, he did trade for him today. He may slide Kittle in there and still go with 2 tight ends. I don't know about if tight end Bills team is going to work out for him because it's never worked in the past, but we'll find out if he actually does start 2 tight ends. On Pussy's side, he has Ben Roethlisberger against Houston. Not bad. Nick Chubb against Washington. Nick Chubb did have a breakout game last week. Looked a lot better, even though Kareem Hunt did get a lot of points as well. Jonathan Taylor against the Jets. That's a great matchup. Jonathan Taylor looked like a pretty good running back this past week. Got a lot of touches. Kenny Galladay is listed as questionable. He is playing Arizona. I don't know if he will play. Devontae Johnson against Pittsburgh. He's also listed as questionable. He is playing Houston. Noah Fant, who's had a good start to the season. He's probably the only other Bronco besides Melvin Gordon that has looked decent. He is facing Tampa. Joe Mixon against Philly. Will this be the game for Joe Mixon? We've been looking for Joe Mixon. He looks the same running back as last year. We'll see if he can finally show up. And then Cardinals defense against Detroit. That's a very good matchup there. Other than that, this is a tough one. I might go out on a limb here and say this might be the lowest scoring matchup of the week. I really don't like either team that well. I think if Bill starts his 2 tight ends and starts Logan Thomas, I don't see how that's going to work for him. I'll go out on a limb and pick Pussy, I think, but it'll be maybe like 105 to 100 type scoreline. Pook, who are you picking? Are you picking the tight ass or the pussy? Are you picking the ass or the pussy?
Works.
Here we go. We're gonna make our selections by saying, are you taking the ass or the pussy? This is perfect. I know why Bill made this team name now. Are you taking ass or are you taking pussy?
I'm taking pussy.
You're taking pussy. All right. Pete, which one do you prefer, ass or pussy?
Well, I prefer the pussy, but I'm not picking his team to win.
Okay. So
I
taking
think Bill's
ass.
team has the better matchups, so I think Bill will win.
Okay. All right. Hunter, are you an ass or a pussy guy?
There is no way in hell I'm gonna pick a dude who has tight ass in his team.
Okay.
No way.
So you're turning down
Great-
Bill's
great
ass,
decision,
huh?
great decision.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm turning down Bill's ass.
You're turning down Bill's ass for pussy. Smart move there. All right, Madrista.
Bill's tight ass. Oh my God, that's a father of 3 right there.
Yeah. I hope his kids don't get on his phone.
If he starts Kittle instead of Logan Thomas, I like Bill's chances of winning.
Okay.
Pusa's team isn't as bad as like I said it was.
Yeah.
It's starting to heat up, which I apologize, Pusa, but I still think Bill's tight ass is gonna pull off.
Wow, you're taking the ass. Wow.
Yes.
Interesting. Zach, ass or pussy?
I'm taking Bill's tight ass.
Wow. Everyone is floating to Bill's ass. Wow. Oh my God, I can't
Don't
believe
say it
this.
like that.
I can't believe
It's gonna
it.
be a great win for him.
Stop saying it like
Might
that.
be a good win for you as well. Ernie, ass or pussy?
I'll never fall for that visor wearing bitch.
Wow. Oh my God, everyone is in love with it.
Also, if you vote for ass, you can't get him pregnant.
That is true. That is true. Zombie.
We'll have to take notes on that.
I'm taking the ass because the pussy here is trash.
Okay. So you're
Wow.
that. The pussy
Wow.
is not good, huh? Wow.
Bars.
Oh my God. All right, slaps. Ass or pussy?
I do like a good ass. I have to say.
Oh my
A
God.
good Bill
Everyone
ass?
is floating to
Like
Bill's
what?
ass. I cannot believe it. All right, let me see. Who did Cheese take? He took he took Bill's ass as well. Wow. There ain't going to be any ass left on Bill after this week. All right, moving on. We have Zombie, who did get his win last week against Indeed.com, which is Ernie. Zombie is 1-1. Ernie is 2-0. So a big matchup here. Ernie did make some big moves. He traded for Christian McCaffrey, who is injured and off for probably 4 to 6 weeks, maybe. So he did trade away one of his running backs, David Johnson, and some other big pieces. was a lot of controversy. He is projected now for only 108 points, so he's taken the effects of that trade now, but he might reap the benefits later. Zombie projected for 112, so only a 4-point difference. Zombie has Patrick Mahomes, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Tyreek Hill, his Chiefs stack, going up on Monday Night Football in a great game against Baltimore. That game was great last year, should be great again this year, and Monday Night Football gets a good game. Joshua Kelly against Carolina, so he's running with the backup Chargers running back who is facing Carolina. Okay. Cooper Kupp against Buffalo. That's a tough matchup. Hunter Henry questionable against Carolina. Not bad. Mike Williams, the Chargers. So basically half of Zombie's team is Chargers and Chiefs this week. Chargers are playing Carolina, so should be good. So he's all in on Justin Herbert.
I got another Chargers player for you, Zombie, if you want him.
Oh, okay. All right. And then, like I said, you better hope that one of these two teams doesn't get COVID this week, Zombie, because then you're having to sub out half your lineup. Steelers against the Texans, not horrible, but Deshaun Watson is good. On Ernie's side, on the Indeed side, he has Dak Prescott going up against Seattle, Ezekiel Elliott going up against Seattle. I think that game will be a shootout, just like last week when the Cowboys played the Falcons. Todd Gurley going up against Chicago. That's a little tough. Brandon Cooks, who is less questionable against Pittsburgh. Ooh, that's kind of tough as well. Golden Tate for the Giants against San Francisco. San Francisco is all banged up, but how much is Golden Tate going to be involved? TJ Hawkinson against Arizona. AJ Brown, who is listed as questionable as well, against Minnesota. And then Washington against Cleveland. Okay, it's an interesting defensive choice. I think Zombie is going to win. I think his Chiefs will not get over 60 combined. I think his Chargers will not get 60 over combined. But I think he will still squeak this one out because I think Ernie is playing the long game to get McCaffrey in there with Zeke, and I think he's taking the effects this week with that lineup in those matchups. So I'm going to pick Zombie. Pook, remember with the questions here, we're going to do this a two-part question. Zombie, who's going to win? Zombie's Chiefs stack over or under 60, and Zombie's Chargers stack over or under 60. Actually, let's put that one at 50 because I don't think there's any way in hell his Chargers.
He only. Oh wait, no, he does have 3 Chargers.
Yeah. So first, who's winning?
I think Zombie's gonna win because AJ Brown won't play.
Okay.
And I think Chiefs stack under 60, Chargers stack over.
Over 50. Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Pete.
Wow, this is kind of be a close game. I wish I was playing either one of these guys this week because their matchups are terrible. But anyway, I think Zombie stacks are both going to be under.
Okay.
But I think Ernie's got some tough matchups too. This will be a really good game. I think if the rookie's playing, which it sounds like he is, he found a connection with Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry had a huge week last week. He'll do well. Mike Williams should probably do well because he throws the ball downfield more than Tyrod does.
Yep.
That Charger actual game might be the game that gets Zombie the win. So I'm gonna pick Zombie, but it's gonna be really close.
Okay. Hunter.
I like Ernie's front too. I think they're gonna combine for 50 or more, and then I feel like the Charger stack is gonna get like 35-ish. You're gonna see Kansas City get over 60.
Really?
But I feel like Ernie might have this.
Okay, so you're picking Ernie. You're picking Ernie even though you think Zombie's Chiefs stack will get over 60 on Monday night, huh? Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, but
Madrista.
Well, I think that Ernie's team's going to be... I want to pick Ernie to win. That's a tough matchup, though. But I also think that Zombie is not taking the right route, just playing 2 teams, having 2 teams just on his whole lineup, and thinking that I think Ernie's going to win.
Okay. And so you're saying the under for both Chiefs and Chargers?
I think the Chiefs are going to be over, but I think the Chargers are going to be. But I think Ernie's going to have a beast week from my boy Zeke.
Okay. Zach.
Yeah, Ernie's taking this one home. GG, Ernie.
And the stacks under.
Oh yeah, definitely under.
Okay. Slaps.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Ernie. I think the Dallas guys are gonna have a great week. I agree. I think it's gonna be a total shootout, and yeah, Ernie's gonna walk away with this
Okay.
one.
All right. And Cheese took Zombie, so he is taking Zombie, so he thinks Zombie stacks will probably do pretty good. And all right, Ernie, you went in this and go into 3-0. You told me earlier you were worried.
No, I'm gonna go 2-1. I lost.
Wow.
GG's on me. Great week. Your stacks are just too good. I will lose until McCaffrey comes back, and then hopefully there'll be some games I could win to make
Okay.
playoffs.
So, quick question with that comment. So, you're going to lose your games until McCaffrey comes back. So, how many games do you think McCaffrey's missing?
I predict I lose 2 games, win 1. He'll be back within 4 to 5 weeks.
Okay. All right. So, you'll be 3-2 with McCaffrey coming back. If that's the case, that's a pretty good trade on your part. But we'll see how quickly he comes back. Zombie, taking your stacks, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I'm gonna win. Ernie ain't got shit for this week because he traded for McCaffrey.
Okay.
I think he knows that he doesn't care.
Okay. Well, he did pick you to win, so that
Yeah,
would be
Diggy.com.
that. All right, moving on. Next one we have, this is a big matchup. We have Zombies a Bitch, which is Craig, facing on against Cheese, who is 0-2. So Cheese is looking to get in the win column for the first time and send Craig to 1-2 as well. Craig's looking to go to 2-1. Very close matchup according to ESPN. 117 for Slaps to 118 for Cheese, so very close. Let's take a look at the team. Slaps has Gardner Minshew, who he picked up off of the waivers this week. Decent pickup. He's facing Miami tomorrow night. Should do very well. He's been had a good start to the season. Dalvin Cook against Tennessee. David Montgomery against Atlanta's not horrible. Mike Evans against that Broncos defense, that's very good. DJ Moore against the Chargers, that could be a little tough. Evan Ingram, who's been a big disappointment so far this year against the 49ers. DK Metcalf, who went off, had a good game last week. He's facing Dallas. I like that matchup. And the Bears defense against Atlanta. That could go one of two ways. Either Matt Ryan throws some picks or Matt Ryan throws a bunch of touchdowns. I hope for my sake it's Matt Ryan throwing a bunch of touchdowns. That Bears defense, I don't know what to make of that one yet. I could tell Pete doesn't like that Bears defense, right? Pete? Okay.
Yeah, that's a terrible call,
yikes.
Slaps. You gotta switch that out.
Okay. Moving on to Cheese's side, he has Lamar Jackson on Monday Night Football against the Chiefs, so this one won't be decided until that night. Leonard Fournette, who had a breakout game last week against Denver. David Johnson against Pittsburgh. Yeah, that's a little rough. Robbie Anderson against the Chargers. Could be a little rough as well. Julio Jones, who is listed as questionable, who he traded for today. If he plays, he's facing the Bears. And if he does play, who knows if he'll ever score a touchdown. Darren Waller, questionable. He did pick up him as well for that McCaffrey deal. I like that. He had a huge week against the Saints. Looked really good. Looked like the focal point of that offense. But, this was his first ever good week according to Pussy. So we'll see what happens. Facing the Patriots. Jarvis Landry against the Washington team. All right. And then he's got the 49ers defense against the Giants. Not horrible. No Saquon for those Giants. Very close game. I don't know. This one's tough. I think I like some of the moves Cheese has done if they play. As long as Julio plays and Waller plays, I like those players that he got to make up for the loss. I think that Cheese might actually get his first win this week in a very close game. I like the moves he made. His team is pretty balanced right now. I'm going to pick Cheese in a very close one. Pook?
I am picking... Oh no, I'm picking Slaps.
Slaps, okay.
Yeah, big slaps.
Okay. Pete.
Yeah, this is one where ESPN has the score wrong. Yeah, yes, Cheese made some good trades for maybe down the road, but this week, I mean, the guys he got, David Johnson against the Pittsburgh defense, yuck.
Yeah.
Robbie Anderson against the Chargers. The Chargers have probably the best corners in the league. Horrible matchup. And even his 49ers defense lost a lot of its defensive line. It's not that good of a defense anymore. Slaps, if you change the Bears to somebody else in defense, you will win this game. I think you're smart enough to do that, so I'm picking Slaps to win.
All right. Hunter.
This is kind of hard. I
Yeah.
mean, it relies on Julio and Darren Waller. I mean, I feel like it's gonna be really close. I feel like Craig could barely sneak this one out, but it all depends how well Julio does. I think that's gonna be the game decider.
Okay, but you're taking slaps. All
Yeah.
right. Madrista.
So after that alleyway gang rape that my team unexpectedly did to Slaps, I believe that he is going to pull himself out of the gutter and do it back to Cheese, who's in a rock and a hard place right now.
Okay. Wow. Zach.
This is the last matchup, right?
No, the last one.
One
is
more.
Madrista and
One
Pete.
more.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
then I'm going.
We know where your
slaps.
tie is going, huh?
I'm going slaps.
You're going
Slaps,
slaps.
slaps.
Okay, I'll just write down the tie now for the next one, Zach. All right. Ernie.
It's not gonna be close. Cheese is gonna beat the shit out of him.
Wow, you 2 weeks in a
And,
row you're gonna do that to Cheese, Ernie? You did that last week and said he was gonna beat the shit out of me, and he got his sheet bit out of
I'm
him.
knocking on wood right now.
And McCaffrey's ankles got beat the shit out of.
So you're taking Cheese in a landslide, huh, Ernie?
Yes, he's gonna start winning games with that
Okay. All right.
great trade he did.
Hey, golfer, can you put the odds on David Johnson getting hurt or not this week?
I mean, he is facing a tough defense.
Can you put the odds on this idiot Benji James Conner again?
Wow.
I'll get those.
Shots fired. Wow. Yeah, Pook's the odd maker, not me. Zombie.
I actually see Craig's players struggling this week more than Cheese's, so I'm gonna take Cheese.
Jeez, gets his first win according to Zombie. All right. Slaps, what do you have to say? Actually, first, let me read Cheese's prediction. He said it himself. He's picking himself. It will be super close between me and Craig. Will also be close. Wait. Will also be close to choose. I don't understand that. Anyways, moving. He's also looking forward to getting his first win this week against Slaps. So basically, he's picking himself and thinks he's going to get his first win. Slaps, are you pulling this one out, or are you giving Cheese his first win?
Nah, I'm gonna give him an absolute hammering this week.
Absolutely hammering, huh?
Yeah,
Alright.
Gardner Minshew against the Dolphins tomorrow night.
That's a big game for you right there at quarterback.
Yep. Dalvin Cook against the Titans isn't a great matchup, but then you've got Mike Evans against the Broncos, DK Metcalf in a shootout against Dallas. I think I've got a few players that are going to put up big points this week. So
Okay.
Slaps, are you gonna replace the fucking Bears?
yes, that's happening.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Moving on to the last matchup of the week. This one I think is my personal favorite matchup of the week. I will be watching this one closely. We have Madrista, who is 1-1, versus Pete, who is 0-2. As we all know, Madrista and Pete love each other to death, and Madrista would love nothing more than to send Pete to his first ever 0-3 start, and really would probably send Pete to the panic button. Right now, ESPN has Pete at 125, Madrista at 122, so very close. Pete's matchups are Kyler Murray and Kenyon Drake against that Detroit defense. That is a great matchup there. James Conner, he's got James Conner back in the starting lineup this week against Houston. Calvin Ridley, who is looking like an absolute stud, getting all the touchdowns instead of Julio, number 1 wide receiver against the Bears. Adam Thielen, who he swapped to Juju for against Tennessee. Minnesota has not looked good at all, and neither has Cousins, but Adam Thielen's still a stud. Zach Ertz against Cincinnati, not bad. You know I love Zach Ertz. Marvin Jones against Arizona. So we'll see how Jones does there against Arizona. And the Chargers defense against Carolina, that's very good. On Madrissa's side, obviously we all know it starts at the top with Cam Newton. He's going to lead his boys against Pete, facing the Raiders. Raiders looked good, but they did give up some points. So we'll see how Cam fares in that one. Derrick Henry against the Vikings. That's a pretty good matchup. Derrick Henry has got off to kind of a slow start, just hasn't gotten in the end zone, but you figure that has to change. Minnesota might be the perfect time for that. Aaron Jones against New Orleans, coming off that huge game. We'll see how he does. Tyler Lockett against Dallas. I like that matchup. AJ Green against Philly. So we'll see if him and Burrow can get on the same page. He's been targeting AJ Green a lot, but there hasn't been that many catches. Tyler Higbee after the huge week last week, again now facing Buffalo, much tougher team. And Odell Beckham against Washington. I actually kind of like that matchup for Odell. And the Buccaneers defense against my decapitated Denver Broncos. Should be pretty decent there. This is a very tough one. This might be the toughest one to pick. I really like Pete's top two players, his Arizona boys. I've liked them from the start of the draft season. I like them a lot against Detroit, but I think Madrista's, some of his players might pop off this week, like Derrick Henry, maybe Aaron Jones again, maybe it's AJ Green's week or Odell's week. I think I am going to pick Madrista, but in a very close game. Maybe could come down to just point something points. And I think it's going to be very high scoring as well. I think both teams will do really well. Could be another unlucky week for Pete, possibly. Pook, who are you picking in this last matchup? Very tough.
I'm picking my boy Matt with Cam Newton. I think Cam's gonna put up another good game.
Okay.
I think he's just gonna outscore Kyler if anyone wants to bet me on that.
That is a nice one there. Wow.
I'm not betting against Pete though. I'm not betting against Pete or Matt.
Okay. All right. Hunter.
I purchased my ticket, I packed my bags, and I stepped right onto that Cam Newton hype train.
Okay.
Boy, is he playing
Choo-choo.
well. I think Cam Newton's just great right now. The only thing I'm afraid of for Madrista's team is AJ Green. I mean, average of 8 points in 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's got off to a slow start, but he is getting targets.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Burrow's been playing great. I think Madrista's going to win this week.
Okay. Zach, the tie, right?
Cameron Superman Cam Newton has been playing so well, and he's going to be continuing to be playing well this week. He's going to get many points.
Okay.
But I'm not sure about the rest of his team. Everybody's predicting this game to be very close.
Yep.
ESPN is predicting this game to be very close. But I am predicting this game to be even closer. This game is going to turn out a tie. It's got tie written all over it.
Okay. This might be the first time ever you picked a tie that I might actually agree and could see it happening.
Well, you should pick a tie too.
I'm not going to, though. I'm not dumb. Ernie.
The better quarterback wins this week.
Yep. And
Madrista's
who was
gonna win.
Okay. Zombie.
I'm gonna pick Pete because I think AJ Green's trash ass is gonna cost Matt.
AJ Green's gonna cost him. Okay. Slaps.
This is a tough one. I like Pete's match ups. I don't know. I love Matt's team though. I've got a feeling they're gonna do another big week.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Matt.
Okay. All right. And after rereading Cheese's statement again, I get it now. He says Matt and Pete will be super close, closer probably than any other game, but he is going to take Matt, he said. All right. Who wants the floor first, Pete or Matt?
Take it away, Peter.
All right,
I'll
Pete.
let you go first. Go ahead.
No. Ladies first.
Okay, fine. I'll go first. That's fine. I'll just be, I've picked myself to win the last 2 games. It hasn't worked, so obviously, GG Matt, you won.
Ooh. Pulling Matt's tactic against him.
Oh.
Doesn't this
Wow.
happen every week?
Wow, it pretty much does. I mean, I think everyone tries to pull it. I don't know if it'll work, but so Pete is picking Matt to win. Okay, Matt.
All right. So I have a lot to say. So
Uh-huh.
buckle up for a ride.
Oh.
We're trying to keep this show under 2 hours.
I'm already
so
in
can
my
you,
seat.
I'll keep it. I'll keep it quick here.
Okay.
You could tell by the voting that everyone hates Peter, and this is a big game here. That we need to get him to 0-3, and
Okay.
Cam Newton has been talked to, and he knows the vibes. And when it
Okay.
comes to my team, I heard from Zombie that AJ Green's going to cost me. Whereas as long as if AJ Green and Burrow looks AJ Green's way all the time, they just need to connect. And I believe that they're going to start connecting. So I believe AJ Green's going to have a week. And if Derrick Henry found the end zone last week, I would have absolutely destroyed Slaps. I would have scored 200 points if Derrick Henry found the end zone.
You pretty
And
much
as
destroyed
my
him
team is
already.
playing,
Yeah, you pretty much
I
destroyed him
believe
already.
I believe that my team is going to score big, and
Okay.
we're going to move Pete to 0-3, and it will be payback for all the children that he took money from.
Okay.
And we all know what he is—a scammer, racist.
Okay. Quick question
Email
for
dog.
you. Quick question for you. So you think
has the
your
floor.
Cameron Superman Newton is going to score more than your Oklahoma boy Kyler Murray in this matchup?
I'm going to take after my boy Zach and say it's a tie.
Oh, you think they're going to tie in points? Okay.
No, I think Cam Newton's going to ball out. Cam
Okay.
Newton's always going to ball out. Everyone here is saying Cam Newton's going to ball out except
Except
Gunnar
me. Yeah.
Owens, because he's hating.
Okay. All right. So that is the picks for this week. Some very interesting matchups. I mean, really, I think pretty much every matchup is kind of interesting. Some of them might be a little lower scoring than others, but I think they're all pretty even for this week. Maybe Zach's matchup might get a little ugly with Hunter, but other than that, I think they're all
Let's
pretty
get
good.
into my segment.
Just to add something, my defense has already been changed.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Wow.
Who did you take?
Jacksonville against Miami.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
All right, let's go.
So
Let's
tomorrow night.
fire up.
All right. So now we are going to move on to Zach's segment. Obviously, the unbiased rankings. Zach, take it away.
Ah, wow. Another week, another Zach 10K's completely unbiased fantasy rankings. The haters have come out in full force over the last week, so that must mean we're doing something right. Can I get a round of applause? Yes. Now let's get into it. At number 1, it will never change. Never, ever, ever. The Lord himself, he's always with us. He's always with me. He's always number 1. At number 2, we have Golfer. This
Woo!
week, he won his game. He was a great bookie.
Yes.
He streamed some illegal things for me on Discord.
Yes.
He
Whoa.
tried to
You're
stream
welcome.
some illegal things for me on Discord.
Whoa,
but
was that illegal?
Peacock-
I don't think that was illegal.
Whoa.
Wait a minute.
Fuck Peacock.
Wait a minute.
Number 3. Welcome to the top 3.
Hunter. Wow, replacing Ernie in the top 3. Wow.
Hunter, welcome. Do you have any words, Hunter?
No. I'm
No,
honestly-
you're honored to be in the top 3. You should be.
I'm starstruck.
Although
To be in this
you,
top 3, it's honestly magnificent.
you love to hear it. I'm sorry about the raping I'm gonna give you this week. At least in the top 3.
Well, good thing
Number
the Lord is only 2
4.
spots away from me, so
Whoa.
I can
No
talk to him
Ernie?
after.
Number 4.
Oh,
Pook
wow.
Lee. Welcome
I
to the
moved
top
up.
4, Pook Lee. Moving up
very-
again at number 5. Oh, Pook, you have words? You want to
Oh.
say something?
Yeah,
already
I'm
clicked it.
very
Go
happy
ahead.
that I moved up in the rankings. I want to thank everyone who helped me, aka not Pete. So, thank you very much.
Wow,
No,
you
you
didn't thank the
shit.
Lord
Wait,
himself.
you
He
shitting
didn't
on
thank
Peak
the
might have
Lord.
helped.
I
Wow,
thank everyone but
yikes.
Pete.
Wow.
Wait,
That
you
is the
shitting on
Lord.
Peak might have helped you in the rankings. You might want to actually thank Peak.
Number 5. Moving up once again, Bill. Bill and I have had some great bets together. Right now, his Nashville SC are dicking on my DC United,
Ooh.
so that helps us out. No, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Oh, it is?
Yep. Number 6. 6, Matt. He's been a steady number 6, top 6 guy the last few weeks. Maybe he'll crack the top 5 next week if he can get it done against Pete this week. But if he doesn't get it done against Pete this week, he might plummet.
Ooh.
He might plummet. So
Bottom one.
Cam will get it done for him.
God, where the fuck is
Num-
Ernie?
No, where is Ernie? He's drop. Number 7. Is it Ernie? Is
Oh,
it Ernie?
no.
No, it's Cheese. Cheese. Sorry for the 0-3 start you're about to get. Welcome to the league. It's always tough in the first year, but maybe you'll get a win or two here and there. Okay, finally at number 8. Who could it be? Who could it be? Finally, Ernie, after dropping 6 spots, was it? 6 spots?
Whoa, yikes.
Ernie, do you have anything to say?
Yes. I am glad the fucking Bills cost you your money, bitch.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa, Zach, you want to change these rankings right now, live?
Can I change?
Well,
can I do some live?
The
ranking
graphics person
changes?
cannot do that, unfortunately. Sorry, we
No,
have
the
we have
graphics
budget
person-
restraints. Budget restraints. we
Budget.
can't.
Listen. That's perfect. You say that. It's perfect. You say that because over this last week we got a sponsor.
Oh.
my god. I helped
Oh
you.
my God.
I go bottom.
Listen, here is a message from our sponsor, everybody.
Pay sponsorship.
When the financial troubles of life come your way and the creditors don't stop calling,
Shut
bankruptcy
Oh
could
my
be
god.
the right choice for you. Bankruptcy will not ruin you as the debt consolidation programs often claim. It can be a fresh start provided to you by the government. After bankruptcy, it can only take 2 years to rebuild your credit and get back on track. Our law offices can help you choose your best options to get you on the road to financial recovery. Call Flame Law Corporation.
Wow,
Hey,
thank you to
hey,
45 Law
be
Corporation
quiet,
for
someone might need that.
sponsoring us
Someone might
Alright.
need that
on
phone number.
this on this.
Yeah, I needed that
Zach
number.
10K
Can I take that
is
down?
Some
complete-
people might need that number.
All right. Number 9.
Okay. Number 9. Thank you to our sponsor there. Number 9, Craig. Craig, it's hard to crack that top 8, top 7, but soon enough you'll get there. Number 10. Listen, the difference between 9 and up and 10 and lower is just so huge. So there should be some space between that. Number 10, Zombie. Zombie, is there anything you can do to crack the top 9?
Whoa, Zach. Unbelievable. How can you do this to me? We're both fans of the GOAT, Justin Herbert, and you're putting me at 10?
Ooh.
Unbelievable.
I don't know about the GOAT yet, but if he's asked this week, you can have him. I'll guarantee you.
Oh,
And number 11, making an appearance to the league for the first time in a few years, the guy who has me blocked, Last Captain.
Damn.
Wow.
Fuck.
A round of applause for Last Captain. I don't really know about
Yeah.
that one, but yeah, I don't know who did that.
Guy.
Probably Pete.
whoa, he's a professional FIFA player.
Yeah.
A professional FIFA player.
Hey, now
what a
streamer.
guy.
Now streamer.
Now a streamer. too.
Wow. Oh, he better not touch any cards.
He might want to look at that number for the bankruptcy list. too.
Yeah, he might need to.
Number 12, Jack freaking Pussy.
He didn't move.
I don't know why he's so high on my list. Actually, like,
I could tell you
guy
why.
should
According
be-
to Zach last night, he was too tired to adjust his rank.
oh yes, that is true. That is actually true. After I sent Golfer this list, and after the argument, or not argument, the talk Jack Pussy and I had in the group chat last night, I said, "Fuck Jack Pussy," and I want to make some changes, but I don't feel like it because I'm going to bed. And that was at 9:30, so it was pretty late.
Past your bedtime.
And the next spot at number 14. So we skipped 13. We have the bumfuck Bills. My God, they basically scammed me out of $160. It was heartbreaking to see. That is why they are tied at 14 with another scammer. A guy who scammed hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of dollars.
What?
He is.
Pete.
Okay.
14. The bumfuck Bills and Pete. 2 scammers at 14. And that
See it.
is this week's Zach 10K completely unbiased fantasy football rankings.
Fuck the Bills. They cost me money as well.
Fuck the
Cost me
Bills.
too, motherfuckers.
What is better, Zach's list or Steven's A's list on Monday?
I think Zach's list. No contest.
Golfer,
Yes, Ernie.
Miami's up 12. If you want to bet on Boston, I think it's a good
Okay,
time.
I'll think about it. All right.
Ooh.
Thank you, Zach,
Garbage
for
right now.
your rankings. Entertaining as always.
Thank you.
All right. Finally, before we get into the Glass Body Club to end the show, we're going to go real quick to the blackjack table so we can look at our blackjack results. So, due to social distancing requirements, we had to separate the table and put them on 2 separate tables. There was
Unbelievable.
way
Okay,
too
no,
many
not a good
people,
sequel.
way too
Good,
many
good,
people
good.
on one table, so we had to go 2 tables according to the government. So, anyways, a couple better weeks for a lot of people. We had kind of mixed reviews. Some people did some different strategies as well, which was nice. One person actually took hits and actually did pretty well. Congrats to Hunter. He took a defense and a kicker and then Watson as a hit and ended up with 16, which was a pretty decent score. So Hunter, you did win on 2 out of your 4 hands, so that won you $2. Congrats. Pete had 5 hands, kind of went a whole different approach, did different hands for each one, hit on a couple of them. He had a 17 and an 18, and then also had a 1, 9, and 26. So he won on 2 hands as well, won $2 into his bank. Slaps took all 4 hands and just went straight kicker and defense. Oh no, Andy did a hit on Ingram, so he was another one that took a hit. The defense kicker took a hit, got Ingram with 5 and got him 16, which was good enough to beat me. My hand finished at 14 because Gronk got a big fat 0 and he was my second hit. So my play did not quite work with Gronk. He really let me down. But so congrats to Slaps. He won $4 onto the one that he already had, which is a total of 5 in the bank for going into this week. Zach was the biggest winner of all, though. Had 5 hands last week. And for all 5 hands, he went the kicker and defense route. Got lucky that his defense only got 3 points because his kicker got 16. Usually when your kicker gets 16, you end up busting, but Zach's defense let him down.
I hope you like
Ended up with 19, very good score. Ended up winning all 5 hands and is now at $6. And then Cheese had 1 hand, also did very well. Took defense and kicker. They got 6 and 13 for the kicker. Ended up at 19. So the defense and kicker is working for some, but is not an automatic win. And some people did take some hits and won as well on this table, so that was good. Looking at the other table, Bill had 3 hands and pushed with the dealer, and if you push, you still win at this table. So he ended up with 14 and won $3, and he had $2 the previous week, so that's why he's at 5. Pook, rough week for Pook. He had 4 hands, took them all the same as a kicker and defense. His defense got him 17, and his kicker got him 6, and he busted at 23. And then Pussy had 1 hand, took defense and kicker as well, ended up with 14. Not a great score, but good enough to push me and win $1. And Matt barely busted. Unfortunate for Matt, he took a defense and a kicker, and they both got 11. Ended up with 22. And then Ernie was probably the biggest yikes of the week. Took a kicker and defense. The defense got him 1 point. The kicker got him 6. And then in the second hand, he decided to go Waller in defense and no hits. I don't know why he would do that. If you're going to take a player that's probably going to score you a lot of points, you should probably take a hit. Yeah, because Waller got 28. Waller got 28. Ernie, if you're going to take a prominent player in your team, you might want to take
Ernie,
hits.
is
That way
gonna
the
be you
numbers
in
are
Vegas?
less.
Is that going to be you in Vegas?
Probably. That's probably a sign of things to come. So everybody, so the only people with $1 are Pook, Madrista, and Ernie. Everyone else has some money. Reminder, I will remind you the amount of hands you get to play this week. You do have to play at least 1 hand. You can choose if you have money. If you have money in your bank, you will be risking those dollars on every hand you play. It's $1 per hand. You do have to play at least 1 hand, though. But it's up to you. The people like Pook, Matt, and Ernie, you all get free hands to play, so you might as well play as many hands as you're allowed to play. Any questions at all about this week as far as this goes? Okay. Reminder to send me those picks at least by Saturday, unless you have players on the Thursday night game that you are including in it. All right. So finally, we'll wrap up the show real quickly with the NFL was injury prone this week. So many players you saw getting injured, huge ones left and right. so many people out for the season, so it's the perfect time to update the Glass Body Club. So this week, the president of the Glass Body Club, David Johnson, who got traded by Ernie, he no longer wanted the risk of the Glass Body president, decided to take a chance and go to a new team. And with that, he brought some new members, and they all went up to Colorado to golf. When they went up to Colorado to golf, they welcomed the top member of the Glass Body Club, the newest addition, putting there for a par, Saquad Barkley. You hate to see it for Saquad. So much talent in that guy, but in his 3 years, just cannot stay healthy. Welcome to the Glass Body Club, Saquad. Round of applause for Saquad. Welcome to the Glass Body Club. Yes, that is the president, Donald Trump, in that picture. I thought that was fitting to put the president of Glass Body Club on the president, Donald Trump. And then some members that were also
Hashtag not my president.
after the round of golf. They sat there and they had some drinks at the clubhouse. We have still active members, Derwin James and Jordan Reed. Although Jordan Reed did have a sneaky
He had
good
a good
game this
week.
past week. Yep. If he continues to do that and stays healthy, he might get himself out of the Glass Body Club. But he's got to stay healthy a little bit longer. I got to see some more. Marlon Mack, who already the previous week hurt himself once again, and you know the one that always loves to miss playoff games, Carson Wentz, of course. Got to have him in there. And then finally, they all huddled up around the 18th green to welcome the whole Denver Broncos team into the Glass Body Club, because nobody can fucking stay healthy for the whole Denver Broncos, led by Drew Lock, who keeps letting me down even though I think he's going to be good. He just cannot stay healthy. So that is the Glass Body Club for this week. We'll see what happens in the future. I'm sure there will be more injuries next week. We'll see what happens. Hopefully your team stay healthy. I was lucky enough to dodge the injury bug this past week. Some people were not so lucky. Any final comments, and we'll wrap it up? Pete, any comments? Is he still here? No. Okay, Pook.
3-0, baby.
3-0. All right. Good luck this week. It should hopefully I can give you a run for your money. Hunter, any comments?
Got a lot of work ahead of me.
Yeah, you
Next
do.
2-3 weeks
This is
to
a
determine
good
the rest of my
test.
season.
Yep, it's a good test, Hunter. Good test. I'm interested to see what you do if you fight through it. You've gotten a lot of props so far, so we'll see what happens. Madrista.
This is the biggest game of my
Mhm.
career. This is my Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, as long as I win this game, I will be happy. If I don't, I'll be devastated, and I probably will take the season because I'll be depressed. So
Ooh.
come on.
Wait,
to
are
my
you calling the
team.
beach if you lose this
Get
game?
the job. Yes, I am.
You're calling the
I'm
beach.
calling
Wow.
the beach.
Okay.
So come
All
on,
right.
my team. Do it for everyone. Do it
All
for
right.
all the kids that got all their money taken. Let's
right.
go.
And Zach left, right? He didn't join back, Zach?
No, he
Okay.
didn't. No, back.
Ernie, any comments? Final comment?
I lost this week. GG's on me. I'm only focused on one game and one game only. We are all focused on. Let's go, Cam Newton. It's time to be Superman like you always are.
Okay. Zombie.
Yikes. Ernie should have probably never made that trade.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Slaps?
Me and Put Clear are going to be on the same record after week 3. Woohoo!
Wow. Okay. I like that. And all right, that's it. Thank you guys for attending the show. Good luck on your fantasy week. And we'll see you back here next week for the recap.
Let's get it.